I'm Matt Glass, and I'm Edgington Ari. And this is Family Meeting.
Man, these AI transcripts go crazy.
Family Meeting After Dark.
Oh man, that's when the AI creates like versions of us.
Yeah.
It's gonna think that your name is Edgington Ari.
Edgington Ari, yeah.
Anyway, are you ready?
I'm good.
Okay. Welcome to our end of 2025 episode of
Family Meeting.
My name is Matt Glass.
And I'm AJ Tenari.
And this is Family Meeting, the final family meeting of 2025, the final episode in our Christmas block, and our yearly tradition upheld of talking about our top 10 favorite albums that came out this year.
That's right. Happy holidays, family heads.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. 'Tis the season almost. As of when this episode is released, it will be tomorrow for Christmas Eve.
Yeah, what a good present you can give to your loved ones.
Exactly. A new episode of your favorite podcast.
To celebrate for the holidays.
Yeah.
All your family and your friends.
And your follows.
Every single year since season 2.
Season 2.
We have done this tradition where we listen through albums that came out this year or like the current year that we're recording the podcast season. And we try to just narrow it down to albums that stood out to us throughout the year. And let me say, AJ, it's been a weird fucking year for music.
Very lopsided year, in fact. Like, the first half of this year, I was struggling, man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that was, like, good but not great, or just perfectly fine, or just outright bad. But then, you know, like, June came around, and then all the good shit just kind of, like, snowballed from there.
I think a lot of it was like, there was a weird sort of deficit of major artists coming out with good albums for the beginning half of this year.
I would agree.
There was a lot of expectation that was placed on specific artists, and some of them were met decently, some were not met at all.
Definitely not.
And then, some definitely came out way later, I think, than they should have.
Yeah.
We were in a crisis. We were in a dry spell of good albums.
But that's not to say there wasn't anything good, because there was actually a lot of good stuff towards the end of the year.
Definitely.
Which I'm very excited to talk about. But I will definitely agree. A lot of the artists that I were hyped for, like, their drops this year were pretty disappointing when they came out.
Definitely.
Like Alex G, Japanese Breakfast was a sad one for me.
Tame Impala.
Tame Impala, that's an unfortunate one.
That was crazy. I didn't even listen to the fucking Alex G record this year.
It was fine.
Yeah.
But like nothing like to really write home about.
I think though, and you'll probably see this reflected a bit in my list, it was a good year for up-and-coming artists.
Yeah, agreed.
A way better year for up-and-coming artists than legacy artists and, like, you know, Hallmark artists in a way. And even some, like, interesting returns to form.
Yes.
One of them that I'm definitely going to shout out in my honorable mentions, but, like, yeah, just a weird year 2025 was.
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of coming off like as good a year for music as 2024 was, 2025 was never going to quite live up to that.
Oh, no. I mean, it had Brat, it had fucking
GNX, Chromacopia.
My favorite album of 2024, The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. 2023. I know now. I promise. I promise that my number one album is an album from this year.
It is also The Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess.
Re-release, 2-year anniversary.
The deluxe.
But AJ.
Yeah.
Before we get into our top 10, we have to talk about some honorable mentions and some kind of scummy, bottom of the barrel albums.
Oh, we're doing a little worse list too?
I mean, I don't know if it's a full-on list, but there's definitely some albums
some dishonorable mentions
that I would definitely like to talk about.
Oh boy, me too.
Want to start from the bottom and work our way up, I guess.
Okay, so we start with the bad shit and then go to the good stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me pull up my list if you want to go first on your dishonorable mentions.
Now, I know there were a lot of disappointing records. I tried to listen to Some Sexy Songs for You, just did not complete it.
That is my worst album of the year.
And I can see why. The first track, I literally was just like, fuck this. I'm not even going to try.
It's amazing that after the year that Drake had, his big fucking comeback response album was an hour of just fucking mellowed out, boring fucking standard Drake mumbles. Like, it was a chore to get through this album. It sucked. I hated it. Out of the 103 albums I listened to this year, this was at the very bottom. Number 103.
I can really understand why. I mean, I've never been a Drake fan in general.
Same.
I know some people who have defended him for like a little while, and then like at the very end of his heyday, especially amidst the whole Kendrick fucking
beef
defeat, I should really say, getting absolutely fucking impaled by Kendrick's words. I think there was really just nowhere to go but down.
Pretty much, yeah. I think he's got to hang up the coat.
Yeah, for real. Another album that was pretty fucking bad was the Lil Baby album, Wham.
I did not listen to that one.
That album sucked ass.
Cool.
Let me read my actual notes about it.
Nice.
Let me see. Wham. Pretty run-of-the-mill mumble rap album, nothing revolutionary at all. He kind of sucks as an MC just in general.
Nice.
Tracks are fine. Would never listen to this again. And this is basically the bottom one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I say basically because there was an album this year, and then that'll end my like kind of bad-ish albums. There was an album this year that came out that I really just did not see the hype for, and I think it's more of like a demographic issue geographically, and that is the Bad Bunny album.
That's right.
Which for a little while was rated as like the highest album on Metacritic for months. Granted, didn't have a lot of competition.
Yeah,
so,
he came out very early in the year.
And I know he is probably one of the best-selling artists in the world right now. And I'm sure he's a great guy, but I'm not a big fan of reggaeton. And I don't know, man. It wasn't anything that I genuinely had not heard before, even maybe done a little bit better. Obviously, there's the language barrier. I'm not fluent in like the language he sings in. So I think I was really having trouble like connecting with it besides just from a musical standpoint, which everything sounded nice, but deserving of like a 98 for like 2 months was a little insane Metacritic.
I see.
Not gonna lie.
I didn't listen to it, so I also didn't really have a desire to check it out. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I heard it got a lot of good reviews, but it just didn't really interest me to check out. For some of my other bad ones, we have American Heart by Benson Boone.
Oh, I didn't even listen to that.
Listen to that full thing. Benson Boone is an artist that certainly exists. I feel like he means well.
Of course.
Yeah, but I don't know. His style is just really not my thing, and a lot of the stuff on that album was just kind of cringe.
Whatever do you mean, AJ? Moonbeam
ice cream, taking off your blue jeans. Backflip cause I am queen.
Is that?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say.
There was some like just weird lyrical choices. His vocal stylings are just like all over the place, and just what he thinks is like kind of funny or quirky comes across as more just kind of off-putting and weird.
Yeah.
So just not a very fun album to listen to. I think one of the big flops this year that we can all agree is Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift.
Didn't listen to it.
Yeah, not missing much. That's one of the most delusional albums I've ever listened to.
I listened to the Ophelia song.
Yeah.
Because
one of the best songs on the album.
Yeah, honestly. And I only listened to it because of the Todd in the Shadows video that came out. Because I was like, I'm not going to listen to this otherwise.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, oh, well, I mean, maybe I should actually like listen to the album to form an opinion of it. And after listening to that song, I was like, I have a feeling I'm not going to really gain anything.
Nah, not at all.
Not even a laugh.
Like the first 3 tracks, my journey was like, I listened to the first 3 tracks and I was like, you know what, like this actually isn't that bad. I don't really like, get what all like the hubbub's about. And then I got to track 4, I was like, oh wow, okay. And then like there's just a run which takes up like 2/3 of the album that is just fucking terrible. Oof. It's just really, really bad from like that point onwards. There's the whole Charlie XCX debacle, which we talked about a little bit in the 1989 episode.
Fucking stupid.
Very stupid, very misguided, and just a complete misunderstanding of what that whole song was about.
I think it's also hilarious because she is riddled with success.
Exactly.
And it's like, why the fuck do you want to just like start beef with an artist that is also doing very well right now? But like,
who took a lot longer to get there as well.
Exactly. Like you have nothing. It's like the same thing as like the Quentin Tarantino thing.
Exactly.
In a way, it's like, what do you gain by doing this?
Yeah.
Their existence is not hurting your career.
You're just an asshole at that point.
You're just dumb. Like I don't know what to say.
I think this album definitely kind of showed just how out of touch Taylor Swift is at this point.
Yeah.
And just how the brand of Taylor Swift has kind of overtaken the person who kind of started making that music.
More like flop Eras Tour.
Oh shit, dude.
Man, if there were alarms, they'd be ringing right now.
But this is Family Meeting, and there are no edits.
Thank God.
Some other kind of middling ones. Sleep Token, of course. I will say, big improvement over Take Me Back to Eden, but it's still Sleep Token. I don't really like them.
Gotcha.
They definitely kind of lean into more of like their strengths, which is like they kind of know what they're trying to be more about, like actually like leaning more into the pop instead of just going full metal. It's a little more diverse, which I feel like was a good choice for them.
They leaned back more than ass.
Even though Sleep Token has just a baseline of ass that they're always kind of on.
A baseline of ass.
Quick fire one, Selena Gomez, Benny Blanco, didn't care for that one.
Oh yeah, I did listen to that. That was ass.
Yeah, only one good song on that album in my opinion. I didn't care for Rebecca Black's new album. That might be a hot take. Same thing with Tate McRae. Lambrini Girls was an early one that I really didn't care for. Playboy Cardi sucked and was way too fucking long.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, Matt, as your favorite artist, I know this is very hard to hear.
Wait, Playboy Cardi is just bad at music? That's crazy.
And he called this album music.
I would have never have guessed that.
Yeah.
Like 6 times.
After years and years of waiting, we get just fucking schlock. There's also all the bullshit that was leading up to it with his like really scummy like pre-order practices that like also just soured the album's release too.
Exhausting.
Yeah, and that's pretty much my notorious list. Those are all the bad guys.
I guess as a final note before we kind of go into some honorable mentions, this I wouldn't even say is a hot take, but I gotta say, one artist that, well, I guess technically 2 artists, but they're connected because the artist is in another band. I was not really fond of the Cameron Winter and Geese projects this year.
You weren't a fan of the Geese projects?
I listened to the album and I wasn't like wooed by it at all. I felt like generally like maybe for 3D Country the songs really I gravitated more towards.
Yeah.
But I felt that it felt just really drawn out to me as a whole like project, at least for Geese. The Cameron Winter heavy metal album also I just was not a big fan of. I felt that it was a little bit too slow for my liking, and it wasn't really landing with me, even when I was trying to listen with lyrics in mind, which is a shame because like I love both Cameron Winter and Geese.
Exactly.
Like they make quality shit. They're like the band for Gen Z right now. It's kind of wild.
Like this new album is like getting like praise like out the wazoo from everyone.
Maybe it just has to hit me at a different time, but I really tried to like it, and I haven't really been able to fuck with it yet.
I'll say it did take me a few listens for it to like really kind of like click with me, because I think I listened to this album maybe like 4 times before I was like, okay, now I like it.
Taxes is a great song.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just not really large on it.
I'll say I think I prefer 3D Country over Getting Killed more, but I did like it overall. I think I'm less kind of warm on the Cameron Winter solo project. I liked it for what it was, but it didn't really kind of stick out to me as much as like some of the other albums released and even the whole Geese project itself.
Yeah.
But I think I disagree. I think I liked Getting Killed for what it was.
I'm glad you can kind of find some enjoyment from it.
Yeah, because it actually is like right outside my top 15.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I did quite like it.
AJ, do you want to start with your honorable mentions this time?
Sure. So I got 5, number 15 to 11.
Word.
We got number 15, Private Music by Deftones. Very nice return to form and very solid songwriting. Number 14, we have Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. A lot of awesome collabs in there. And it's, I think, even in my opinion, even better than the first Alfredo.
Word.
Number 13, Stardust by Danny Brown. This album came out like pretty late, but this shit fucking rocked. That was such a fun album.
What stopped it from getting in your top 10, if you don't mind me asking?
I just like the other ones in the top 10 just a little bit more.
And maybe for a little bit longer?
For a little bit longer, too.
Which is the Jonas Brothers album title.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We'll get there.
Okay, that's for next season.
This season.
Oh, boy. Number 12 is probably a big surprise. This was Mayhem by Lady Gaga.
Oh, okay.
This album was so much fucking fun, dude. Like, I saw it kind of like when it came out, but I didn't really check it out till like much later. But really awesome, fun, dancey disco like pop album all throughout. And like, I haven't listened to a full album of hers besides this one. I only like knew it for the hits, but I really enjoyed this project front to back. And then number 11, for my prog love, of course, we have Instant Holograms on Metal Film by Stereolab.
Fuck yeah. They released an album this year?
They did. It was really good.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man. I liked it a lot. It was very like sci-fi out there. A lot of really cool like rhythms and like just prog structures. It was sitting in my top 10 for a little bit, but eventually just kept getting like bumped down.
Word. So
yeah, just outside the top 10. But yeah, I was very fond of like pretty much all the albums in like my top like 30, top 40, I really liked a lot. And those 5 are some that were really good but didn't quite make the cut.
That's rad. Honestly, the Lady Gaga album I did listen to, but it didn't really make like any of my lists.
Yeah.
Mostly kind of in a similar vein, just for like timing purposes.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy that album a lot. I love how she really leaned into kind of like more of like, it was very dancey, but then she was using some like kind of like stripped back, like sort of 808-ish type shit, which is cool because she's always been one to kind of like use gimmicks in songs as like in like a really tasteful way.
Yeah.
She does that with like all of her music.
So if you haven't checked that one out, or if you haven't checked any of these albums out, give them a listen. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And while you're there, let us know what your favorite albums of 2025 are.
Definitely.
Matt, what are your honorable mentions of 2025?
I'd say the first one, gotta say, like, fuck you, Skrillex. You think you're Andy Warhol, but you're not.
Yeah?
Listen, I've been in a weird sort of return to hard EDM again, which is so wild because I did not anticipate that from this year at all. It was really sick. This album, while it did not make my top 10 like at all, in fact, it's like kind of farther down the list in my giant like echelon list of 2025 albums.
Yeah.
It was cool to kind of see him use this as like a more of a stepping stone. Like, I'm still here. I'm probably not going to keep doing dubstep, but I'm going to just sort of like, you know.
Sample, damn son, where'd you find this?
Exactly. Also, shout out to Colin Fletcher because...
Guest of the podcast from 2 weeks ago.
Guest of the podcast. And Skrillex in his end credits mentions a dude named Colin Fletcher.
Oh, yeah?
And when we were working together and that came on, I was just like, what the fuck?
He's soy jacked.
Hello? So there was that. I gotta say, one foray back into music I did not expect was Guided by Voices with Universe Room.
Gotcha.
Obviously, like, it definitely was not a favorite in terms of my overall albums by them, but it was still cool to see like a band in the underground scene for so many years still try and like
and still have it,
dip their toes into music, and it still kind of has that charm. I would say still very lo-fi production. I wouldn't even say in songwriting, I'd say like the song like structure is actually improved a lot.
Gotcha.
It kind of had some different elements besides just like overly crunchy, distorted guitar. Like, they had some effects used, which I guess is cool that he finally made it there.
Yeah, so they were evolving at this point.
A little bit, but it still had that sort of like crunchy charm in a way.
Nice,
so
dude.
That was cool to see that.
Word.
They Left Me With the Sword / They Left Me With a Gun by Paris, Texas. Really just experimental, fun rap duo album. The samples used in the music are fucking awesome. I love the song No Strings in particular.
Yeah.
A lot of nice, like, sort of sing-songy vocals, which I really enjoyed. Sable Fable by Bon Iver.
Okay.
I think that album was super fun, super artsy, mixed bag of bare bones indie production, reminiscent of like 2010s Bleachers. But it was cool. I enjoyed like the sort of interesting things he did with the music. Honeybee by Borns.
Wow, that high. Damn.
Honestly, yeah, it's an honorable mention, so I have to just sort of be like acknowledging of that. The song Breakfast of Bohemians was in fact in my Spotify Wrapped.
I see.
So I feel like I had to mention it, and I genuinely enjoyed this EP. Finally though, I gotta say, one album that I did not expect to like so much, like I knew I was probably gonna enjoy it to a degree, was Lush Life by Seth MacFarlane.
I remember you guys telling me about this one.
It's an honorable mention. I wouldn't even say it's my number 11.
Yeah, but it's just in that same criteria.
Yeah. It was just like a really cool take on some sort of known Frank Sinatra hits. Not even hits, just tracks.
Yeah.
But also some ones that had never been released before. It was a cool angle. I liked the way he attacked it. I love the fact that he was really respectful and just open to bringing these songs forward, and he didn't like half-heartedly do it. Like, he was a good singer, and you could tell he really respects the material.
Gotcha.
So I was a fan of that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think of all your honorable mentions, I've only listened to one of those albums, so that's cool. There's a lot of like differences.
That's gonna be a running theme, I think, with this list. Also, Joe Jonas released an album this year called Music for Those Who Believe in Love, and unfortunately, it was a lot better than I anticipated.
Gosh, I remember you telling me that.
Could not put it in my top 10.
Yeah.
It's not even really an honorable mention. I just kind of wanted to mention that he did that, and it was decent. So maybe something good will come out of that.
Okay. For all you Joe heads out there,
Yeah.
there is hope, I guess.
JoJo.
You're JoJo's.
But AJ,
Is it time to hop into the list proper?
I think it is.
All right, who wants to go first with their number 10?
Give me your number 10, AJ.
My number 10 is Lotus by Little Sims.
Fuck yeah.
This was an excellent album by an artist that I've heard a lot of hype about, but I never really dove into, and I'm glad like this was the album to finally get me into their discography, because she is a fucking menace on the mic, dude. A really awesome album with a lot of themes that are like super personal and introspective, and Little Sims is just like a captivating and attention-grabbing MC in like both confident, cocky, and silly ways on tracks like Young, or very intimate, raw, and emotional ways on tracks like Blood. It really leans into the whole theme of the album, basically being named after the flower, which is all about transformation. So it basically kind of takes you almost in like a stages of life kind of way, like kind of maturing throughout like the whole track list, which is really cool. The instrumentation is also just a pleasure to listen to. There's a lot of like soul and R&B influence here, as well as a lot of like other kind of like more worldly influences. Like there's a lot of bossa stuff on here,
Word.
which is very, very fun. So this is definitely an album I would highly recommend checking out. I'm definitely going to go back to check out her 2021 album, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, because here that's a great one. Some highlights for me include Thief, Young, Free, Lion, and Blood. And that is my number 10 album of the year.
Word. I will definitely have to check them out. Sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
I love albums that talk about life.
Yeah. This is definitely ones that will make you laugh and make you cry.
Word.
And lucky she's a family guy.
But where are those good old fat? Oh God. Anyway, for my number 10, kind of surprised me because I started off really not liking this album at all.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, I went, oh, I get it. Like Frank Reynolds.
So this is some sexy songs for you, right?
Listen, the reason why I didn't put it at the very bottom was because it was going in the top. Yeah.
I only listened to 10 albums
Yeah.
this year.
It sucked as a bad album, but was great as a good album. That makes no sense.
It's like the personal versus a realistic 80s or whatever.
Yeah, that's my version of the musical 80s, not a personal 80s. But my number 10 is Sinister Grift by Panda Bear.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that so crazy?
Yeah, man, because you were dogging this album for the longest time.
I was dogging this album.
Yeah.
But I think it was in like the wake of, partially of Brian Wilson's passing.
Yeah.
You can tell like he took a lot of this weird, sort of trippier inspiration harmonies wise from like Brian Wilson-esque harmonies, which I was starting to kind of fuck with after a while. And I think in a way, like, I wouldn't even say lousy vocals, but kind of just like vocals more focused on like the pitch rather than like the style. It kind of works for the overall like drippy psychedelic haziness of this album. And there's like a weird sort of like melty tropical kind of vibe to it.
For real.
That I was really starting to vibe with. I think especially amidst working like one of the hottest summers of all time.
Yeah.
I was just like kind of miserable in my job, just sort of being like,
So hearing some like tropical calypso beats.
but also with lyrics that sort of empathize with just not wanting to be where you're at.
Definitely.
I could very much relate to that. I liked a lot of what happens on this record generally. The sonic profile being sort of like washed up Beach Boys. That was like a huge draw on for me. The production is quite different from like anything I've listened to of Panda Bear and Animal Collective.
Yeah.
So that at first was jarring to me, but then I ended up really liking it. Bad Tiny Desk though, I did not care for it.
I see.
It was a bad year for Tiny Desk and NPR in general.
Gotcha.
Y'all
Besides Turnstile.
besides Turnstile, y'all got the short end of the stick, guys. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Praise bangs. I love Anywhere But Here. 50 Milligram is a reggae-inspired trip song, and fucking Venom's In is just suffocatingly nice. And I don't know. I really sort of bonded with a lot of the themes in this album a lot more than I thought I would.
Good stuff, dude. I'm very glad to hear that, because I had this album in like my top 10 for a while, but just as like more stuff came out, it just kind of kept like slowly going down the ranks. And I told you about it, and you were like, I just don't like it, or I just don't get it.
Yeah, because the first time I listened to it, I went like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound good. And then like I went back to it a month or two ago and I just went like, oh man, maybe I was kind of wrong about this, because the lyrics kind of hit hard.
Exactly.
It's not a happy album.
No, it's not. as seen on the cover of just like the very like anxious painting of that person.
Anxious, like mid-century gothic oil painting,
exactly.
which I think is supposed to look like the singer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really surprised me with how much I liked it.
Yeah, man. Same
And
here.
Praise really helped. The opening track is just a fucking banger. It's so upbeat, but like, you know, the juxtaposition, you know, I love that here.
Exactly. We do love our juxtaposition on the Family album.
But AJ,
Yeah.
what is your number 9?
My number 9 is God Does Like Ugly by JID. This was a very cool rap album. I think of like, I don't know if this is like the most accurate of like the bigger rap albums. This might be like my favorite, but that might change as we go down the list if you consider those bigger rap albums.
I see.
But I did really like this album. This was the year that I got into JID, and like what a year to get into, because he featured on like so many big projects. His follow-up that like people have been waiting for knocked it out of the park, which was like excellent. He has such like amazing flows to just like, really show his skills as an MC, as he kind of like spits truth about his societal woes that are impressively delivered in ways that just hold your attention. The guest features are phenomenal. Jesse Reyes, Earth Gang, Mereba, Black, Vince Staples all fucking kill it. The beats are just a really nice blend of like really mellow kind of like jazz rap versus just some like really hard like trap stuff, and like JID rides each of those flows just so brilliantly and just perfectly encapsulates what each song is all about. So for like a first impression, like I was sold, and I'm very excited to go back into his previous stuff as well as see where he goes in the future. Highlights for me are Glory, Work, Skate, Nobu, and Of Blue.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm glad that like so far from what you've been telling me, in terms of like rap and hip hop, it's hit very well just in your overall like listening experience. Because I've been hearing that rap, this has been like one of the worst years for that. Generally.
I mean, there was a lot of stinkers this year, so that's fair.
Are you aware of Dax?
Like Dax Shepard of the movie Chips?
No. What? Who is that?
You don't know Dax Shepard, dude?
No.
He was he in The Cable Guy? I think he was in The Cable Guy. He was. Do you remember the episode of Always Sunny where Mac and Charlie join a cult?
Yes.
He's the dude who eats paint chips, the blonde guy.
Oh,
tall, skinny dude.
Okay, I vaguely remember that.
That's Dax Shepard.
That's insane.
Yeah, what a pull.
No, I'm talking about the rapper Dax.
I don't think so.
All right, I'll show you after we record this.
Cool.
I won't even explain it. You need to experience it for yourself. But I guess, does that mean it's my number 9?
I think it's time for your number 9, Matt.
Number 9 is also a rap album that I was quite fond of from the rip, and that is Revenge Seekers by Jane Remover.
Gotcha.
I was quite a fan of this record when I first listened to it. It blew me away. I enjoy how much the lyrics are raw and emotional amidst like chaotic and sample-filled hectic instrumentals. It's so cool because like a lot of this album is talking about Jane Remover's sort of like fostered fake self-confidence amidst like rising to fame really quickly.
Yeah.
Because they actually joined JPEG Mafia on a tour.
Oh shit!
This year,
very nice.
And I think it shows very much in the music.
Yeah.
Because it's really chaotic and full of all these like crunchy, like recognizable sample moments.
Yeah.
One of the songs, I think it's Dream Flasher, which is one of my favorites. It just samples like back-to-back video game.
That's rad.
And I gotta be honest, like when I heard the Kingdom Hearts defeat boss sound, I was just like, holy shit, what?
All right, top 10 worthy right there.
Low-key? Yeah, that is what I thought. It also sampled, like Dream Flasher, it sampled the finished race sound from Mario Kart.
That's cool.
Which I also fucked with.
Very nice.
But also Jane Remover, I really like them as an MC. They're very like, I wouldn't say monotone, but it's kind of like almost like a robotic delivery, but I kind of fuck with it. It helps like stay in character as they're just trying to tell you like, I'm the shit. Like, listen to what I'm saying, you know? So I fuck with that a lot.
Nice.
Psycho Boost, Dream Flasher, Star People, Experimental Skin, and JR. Also Twice Removed. I don't know why the fuck I didn't mention that in my notes, but it's fucking awesome. If you're like into JPEG Mafia but want something like a little crazier, honestly check them out. It's a very worthwhile album.
Nice. I tried listening to this album. I think I got a couple tracks in and I was like, I'm not in the right headspace for this because it's like not clicking. So I stopped and I just like never went back to it. Because I tried also listening to their album for 2023, which also got like a lot of buzz, and that was like their shoegaze album, and that also didn't click for me. So maybe this artist just isn't for me, or I just got to sit down with them and like dedicate some time.
Yeah, I think this album, especially in my listening habits, it was let's pump this album as I'm trying to get in the zone and get fired up, because this album very much does that for me, especially Psycho Boost.
Yeah.
That fucking drum beat in the beginning is incredible.
I see.
For getting my energy, like blood pumping and shit.
Gotcha.
So,
well, I guess there was a reason that they were on so many energetic like tour groups, so that's pretty cool.
it was like crack open a Red Bull and let's listen to Jane Remover. Like that was my
the
morning
motto.
routine. We had a busy season in May and I was just like, oh dude, it's fucking on. Let's go.
It's Jane in time. Their classic catchphrase.
Dude, that's why I listen to them.
Exactly.
Fun fact, AJ and I went to go see a concert this year.
That we'll mention probably a little later.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Jane Remover was one of the openers, and I missed them entirely.
Yeah.
And I was kind of sad, but I heard that their set was a little mid, so that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we were in an outdoor venue, so that probably also played a factor.
Literally everything else about that concert was incredible, but we will get there.
Exactly. We will definitely get there. But for now, should we get to our number 8s?
Absolutely.
So number 8, I have Ego Trip by John Michael and Anthony James. I think this is like an underground like rap album.
Fuck yeah.
I think underrated as fuck. I had never heard of these two before, but like I saw this album on Album of the Year, and like just the cover and like the genre intrigued me. It was also like decently short, so it was kind of like a good way to jump into it. But straight fucking heat, like front to back.
Ooh,
this
okay.
album is excellent. It's a super solid, compact rap project with amazing, funky samples and beats that just drive the entire album. A lot of horn that just kind of like really emphasizes just like the swagger and confidence of both MCs, who play off each other super well and like seamlessly transition between each other's verses. As they just kind of like drop really infectious hooks that keeps your head bobbing the whole time. There's a lot of like, the pacing is also excellent, where there's just like so much like hard hitting stuff back to back as it like naturally kind of slows down to like the more intimate moments, kind of sandwiching like the kind of heart of this track between like two really powerful interludes before ending off with like a really kind of solid like message at the very end. So some of my favorite tracks are Don't Save Me, Take No More, which is probably my favorite on the track, One Way, Nobody, and Confrontation. I'm definitely excited to see like where these guys go, because like I was unaware of them, but I have my eye on them right now. This is a very, very fun project. I liked it a lot.
Fuck yeah. You said like rap with funk-based beats?
Yeah, man. A lot of horns.
Ooh, that sounds really up my alley. I'm gonna have to give that a listen.
It's almost kind of like a mixture of like 2000s and like 90s kind of stylings.
Okay.
Like the good like kind of like samples of like the 90s, like the more kind of aggressive like rap stylings of the 2000s.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
It was a really fun project. I quite enjoyed it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of in a similar vein of like your number 8 spot getting you into an artist you'd never heard of before. My number 8 is Portrait of My Heart by Spelling.
Okay.
Super expressive alt/rock pop punk record. Really alluring lead vocals that are like engaging with deep instrumentals, kind of like heavy, but like hazy at the same time. Kind of very influenced by shoegaze, but still pretty palatable and pretty easy to like discern everything. There's like a nice haze that's over the album. Pushes boundaries with production, I would definitely say. It was more of an introduction to like the artist in general, which I definitely had to acknowledge because I had never heard of them before.
Yeah,
they are a British alt pop artist, and I kind of dove back into their discography after listening to this album because I really liked what I heard, and it sounded a lot different.
Gotcha.
I don't know who the fuck hurt them in this past year, but they
were going down.
They really were going down. It was cool though. Like, there's some like jazzy piano moments. There's this cool like variety of like musicality on this album between tracks. Some of them are a lot more, I wouldn't say anthemic, but really heartful, really just like kind of trying to unite in emotion in a way. That are and are more straight ahead rock. But then others, like, you really utilize the noise and like pay attention to the echoes and the reverb as she like will wail on the vocals and you get lost in them a little bit, which I really fuck with.
Nice.
And it's cool because like her voice, it's like nasally, but it works.
Yeah.
It kind of cuts through the instrumental like a knife a little bit. So it might not be for everybody, but it was really fond with me. I would say my favorite tracks on this record are Ammunition. Its placement on the album in particular feels really gutting, especially with the chord progression that it uses. Alibi is conflicting and rather terse on lyrics, which helps like paint this irony of being caught up in someone's alibi that falls flat. And the closer Sometimes is a fucking banger that just submerges the album's sound and themes in this fucking echoey haze and
All
fog.
right. Good stuff.
It's really cool. I like the usage of the guitar tones on this album. It's really fuzzy and really just like really,
suffocating.
Yeah, I fuck with it.
Very nice. I mean, I'll definitely check it out as a shoegaze fan myself. So that's pretty interesting.
I would say more like just noise rock generally
rock.
than shoegaze. I could definitely see like some Loveless by My Bloody Valentine like influence a little bit on like a track or two.
Yeah,
but
not overall.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Very
I enjoyed
nice.
it.
All right. Shall I move on to our number 7s then?
Absolutely.
At number 7, I have Carpe Diem Moonman by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets.
Oh, I've heard that name before.
These guys are cool, man. Like, if you like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, you'll like these guys.
That's cool.
It just kind of fucking rolls front to back. Rad psych indie rock album that shreds incredibly hard, while also jamming very intricately. There's a lot of really excellent guitar arrangements with like mind-melting solos and riffs. Insanely fun and complex rhythmic patterns from the drums that like really like scratch into my brain specifically. And some full fiery chugging bass lines that just envelop the mix in an infectious groove. It really starts off like super heavy, like hitting it fast, but it brings it down really fast by like the third track with a lot of like really cool like mellow jammy moments that just like give the instrumentals a chance to shine, just like the album a chance to like breathe and just like kind of like let it like take over you. Some highlights for me are Another Reincarnation, the opener, Quick Math, which might be my favorite track on the album, As the Hummingbird Hovers, Scapegoat, which is also a contender, and the closer, Concrete and Cola. This is like probably my favorite rock album of the year.
Gotcha.
I really enjoyed just like what these guys had to offer. I think like my top 10 is kind of split in like artists I got into and I'm excited to see where they go in the future, and artists that I've known and I'm very happy to see that they're still doing like really cool stuff now.
Word.
Because we're about to get into that on this next number, but Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, very, very fun album. Quite enjoyed it.
They're a name that I've heard numerous times, but just like never checked out at all.
I'd recommend it. It's a decently short out. I think maybe like 40 minutes, maybe like upper 30s. But yeah, I highly recommend. Very, very fun.
They've been around for a while, haven't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's cool to see that like their work affected you that much this time around.
Again, I haven't heard of them before, but I hopped right in. I was like, damn, that's a top 10 right there.
I usually, they might be an artist where I'm just guilty of like, ooh, that's their name, and I just didn't decide to, ever check them out. But
I mean, it definitely grabs your attention in all kinds of ways.
For sure. Yeah. I'm glad those crumpets were delicious.
And
pornographic.
Pornographic.
But
what's your number 7, Matt?
Yeah, this is my number 7.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, real quick. I don't know.
Oh! Okay, cool.
I don't know why I responded that way. My number 7 is an album that I was kind of conflicted about for a little while, and really just did not see a lot of hype around whatsoever, which is, I would argue, kind of a common thread amongst my list generally.
Yeah.
There was a lot of albums that released in the beginning of the year, and I just never really saw any buzz around them, but I was like, no, I fuck with these. And one of them is Lower by Benjamin Booker.
That's right. Yeah, I remember this one.
I really enjoyed this record. It's like overdriven hip hop and indie rock. I think he really does a good job of meshing that. Really heavy themes of like gun violence with soft vocals in the center of the mix throughout the entirety of the record. I love like the central themes of the struggles of being like a queer black man living in a city of all places, which is definitely, I think, for a lot of people very relatable right now. I feel that it's like just really fitting in terms of just the year's overall sense of dread. Even some studio imagery moments that will kind of have you clutching your pearls. I think there's one song in particular where there's like gunshots and someone screaming, and it hits. And I remember when I first listened to it, like, I don't know how I didn't really notice it, but then I listened to it again. It was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Damn.
But it's got some strong musical moments on here. Black Ops is a great opener, super heavy, super hazy. LWA in the Trailer Park is a favorite of mine. Slow Dance in a Gay Bar fucking rips.
Nice.
It's like super slow and sad and dark and gloomy, but
And
kind
gay.
of and a little bit, yeah, one might say. But it's also like kind of groovy in like a bit of like a sad sway-y kind of way.
Yeah.
And then New World is just a dark juxtaposed banger, which I really like, the chord progression in particular.
Gotcha.
I was conflicted about this because I think it didn't really leave that big of an impression on me when I first listened to it like months ago. But then I had to go back and listen to a bunch of these albums because I was like, I feel like I remember this sounding interesting, and my notes aren't giving me much in terms of what I wrote for it. So I was like, let me give it another listen. And no, honestly, like in the last month or so, I've been bumping the fucking LWA in the Trailer Park.
Good stuff, dude.
And Black Ops. Black Ops is a really good opener. He said he took inspiration from T-Rex, which was fucking awesome.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's cool.
Because I did see this album pop up. This is one, in a similar like vein to Jane Remover. I listened to it, but I didn't finish it. From your recommendation. So I'm glad to see that like it's from when you first listened to it, it's still stuck to like the end of the year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. This is the thing, like I was, as you can probably tell, family heads, I tried really hard to actually have like a list of albums because usually at this part of the season, I'm just like, oh fuck, did I even listen to any albums? Why can't I think of anything? But I tried to keep track for as long as I could. Not gonna lie, this year did not give me much in the beginning.
Yeah, it was
so
tough.
At least like, I know there were great albums that came out later. I don't know if the album is on your list. But okay, cool. But like, genuinely, that album was great. I think the Lady Gaga album was great. The Viagra Boys album was fucking incredible.
It was really good.
I loved it. It's just a matter of how much time I spent, you know? Like, I think the timing really does matter in terms of like my favorite albums because like in a way you're experiencing life listening to these records.
Yeah.
And I feel like even though there might be some albums that like I definitely missed the boat on, these albums like stood out to me. And it's cool to see that like it was a bunch of artists that people really don't talk about.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the more like theme with my list, I would say.
The underdogs.
The underdogs.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to speak up for them. And I'm glad that, like, they had a good year overall when, like, some, like, the heavy hitters were kind of lacking. It was cool they were picking up the slack.
Some of, like, but, like, Viagra Boys really fucking...
They were good. That was a good album.
It really was just a timing thing that why they didn't, like, get in my honorable mentions or my top 10 because I, like, just listened to their newest album, like, a week ago.
Yeah, didn't have time to, like, fully immerse yourself.
And I was like, this is fucking awesome, but if I put this above another album that I already was going to talk about, I'd be doing a disservice to not only artists, but myself, you know?
That's valid. But with all that deep talk, should I move on to our number 6?
Yes.
My number 6, this is where we kind of go into artists that I'm familiar with. We'll also get into some artists that have appeared on my list from last year.
Oh, okay.
But this is not one of them. This is Licorice by Hatchie. Hatchie is a shoegaze artist who had a pretty like high album in my 2022 list. This was before the podcast began.
Gotcha.
So this was the follow-up I've been waiting for like 3 years, and it exceeded my expectations. Very, very good. It's just a pretty album to listen to, blending like the dream pop inspired production of like Cocteau Twins with like such crunchy, smooth shoegaze instrumentals. Hatchie as a vocalist is just really pleasant to listen to, and her lyricism perfectly captures like the wonders of being young and like romanticizing the past from like a much more mature lens. There's so many just like great track like moments on here that you just kind of physically just get lost and like immersed in with just how the music sounds, what like the song is all about, and how Hatchie like delivers that. There's a lot of fun time signature switch ups as well as drum beats on there, and of course the guitar and key work is really what kind of like draws you in, just with like how suffocating in like a good way it is, just like how it just takes up the mix and you just kind of get lost in all like the sounds and just like ambiance that just peppers through it. Some highlights for me are Lose It Again, Only One Laughing, the title track, Carousel, a good track called Carousel, Wonder, and Stuck.
Oh, because Melanie Martinez has a bad track called Carousel.
That's right.
I blocked it.
As you should, because it's not a good song.
Word. I never heard of Hatchie. I'm going to have to... Oh, I guess technically I have. I just forgot about it, I guess. Because did you mention it as an honorable mention in a previous family meeting?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not at fault.
Because
cool.
I mentioned like Hatchie was like pretty high on like my list from 2022, but that was before we did this for the podcast.
You did say that. I forgot when we started.
Yeah.
Low key. But that's sick. I might have to give him a bit of a listen.
Haji's cool. I really like this one. And like, there is shoegaze elements, but there's like a lot of like dream pop to combine, so it's like not as like, it's not crunchy. It's more noisy.
Gotcha.
Kind of like the Spelling album.
Word.
Yeah.
I guess this goes into my number 6, which honestly, like, again, another sort of like first impression just really blew me away. It is called It's Only a Love Song by C. Duncan.
Okay.
And this album, not talked about literally anywhere.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this one.
It was one of the very first albums that came out, and I found myself bumping one song, like mainly in particular, but upon revisiting it in the last month, I was like, no, this has to be up here. Basically, it's like a modern, jazzy, easy listening album with like a full-fledged like string section.
Oh, cool.
But it's really gentle and super relatable, I would say. I believe the guy is from Ireland. He talks a lot about like sort of hopeless romance, as well as themes of just trying to also hold yourself together and being like thankful for what's around you. I think the string work on this album, in terms of just like how he's able to really capture each song's characteristic, is really cool. One of the songs, Lucky, is about being just like grateful for your life.
Yeah.
Whereas another song called Delirium is like a lot more the strings kind of really reflect that more, I would say, whereas Lucky is more of like a peaceful sort of...
Yeah, a lot of this one's a little more dissonant,
a little
uncomfy.
bit. A little bit. But the lyrics are pretty serviceable, which it's hilarious I'm saying that because one of our listeners had said to me that I use the term serviceable when talking about albums way too much. But it's really reminiscent of like kind of like old-timey music in a way. It's really gentle, it's really calm, but very much like modern, I would say, without it being like without its worrying that it's going to be dated, you know what I mean?
So as like a genre, would it be like kind of classical, or?
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit, I can't describe it other than like just sort of like smooth, not cinematic, but like it uses a lot of sort of like orchestral elements.
Okay.
But it's not like mainly orchestral. It's really hard to describe.
Just gotta listen for yourself, I guess.
Normally I'd be like, hey, what's this genre? Let me check the Wikipedia. There is no Wikipedia.
Yeah, this sounds like a very obscure album.
But it came out and I was just like, this is really, really nice. And I related to a lot of the themes lyrically, I would say.
Very nice.
Lucky is my favorite. That's the one about being just grateful for what's around you. And the title track, It's Only a Love Song, is arranged really well. And it has some like earwormy songs, which I can very much appreciate.
Gotcha.
So yeah, also Delirium, Time and Again.
Gotcha.
Quite a fan of that one.
So
I felt like it rounded off the album very well.
Very nice. Does C. Duncan stand for Charlie Duncan of the hit show Good Luck Charlie?
Yeah, of course.
Well, with that really fucking awesome transition, shall we hop into our top 5 albums of the year, dude?
Let's fucking go.
Number 5, this is a returning artist from last year, but from honorable mention to list maker, we have The Longest Weekend by Twerp.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they dropped an album this year, and I'm very happy to see such a formative group in my music taste continues to improve with every release, because I think this is even better than their album from last year.
Word.
It's a really fun concept album that's all just like centered around the themes of vacation, escapism, and just like getting in touch with like what really matters, and like not letting the doom that encapsulates the world just kind of get to you, and like taking a moment to appreciate the things that you have, which is really sweet. All, of course, rolled up in like that classic Twerp synth pop charm. There's also a lot of different varieties in like their sonic palette, which is very cool. They go outside their comfort zone a lot, which I was very impressed by. Like there's a straight just R&B funk sex jam on here, as well as like some folksy bubblegum pop, and like this really awesome penultimate track that's like very ambient, like almost prog-like in terms of its production. Highlights for me are My Big Day Off, Yukio, The Language of Love, Critters, and Stargazing, but the entire album is just excellent front to back, and I think it's my third favorite Twerp project. Overall, it's a very, very good one, and I'm very pleased by how they've been doing like the past few years after some like middling releases in the early 2020s.
That's rad, man.
Yeah.
As somebody who only really got into Twerp quite recently, I remember this album dropped, and I was driving around with one of our mutual friends, and he was playing it, and I was like, oh, who is this? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know they released something. So
really good.
That was pretty cool. It's cool to see that they're still trying to make good music.
I'm glad that they're still kicking and still doing well.
Word.
But Matt, what is your number 5 of 2025?
My number 5 fluctuated its position a lot,
Yeah.
which might be kind of ironic given what album it is and song topic wise. That is Eusexua by FKA Twigs.
I see.
The first one. The first
Yeah.
Eusexua.
Not too sexual.
Not the 2 or 3, whatever
Yeah.
those releases were. The initial like bass release.
From very early this year.
Yeah. This album right away I was just kind of blown by okay, wait.
Pause? Is that why I got so high, Matt?
Oh my god. Right away I was blown, you know?
And then I also listened to the album.
I was trying to find a different way to say I was blown away like right from the rip, but I wanted
Yeah.
to try to switch around the words a little bit. Right away, guys, I was blown at the beginning of 2025.
I mean, brag about it, dude.
Oh god. Let me take that again. This album really left a lasting impression on me when it first came out. From the title track to fucking Girl Feels Good to Perfect Stranger. I love this album's just sort of like playful way of describing sexual exploration, which I feel like it's cool that in a way it's sort of, that's becoming like another sort of like theme of a lot of albums that are coming out this year.
Yeah.
But I like the avenue that it took this time around with like a sort of like glitchy club classic kind of avenue. A lot of these songs are bangers. Quite a fan of Drums of Death. I like Childlike Things, but don't like the fact that Northwest is on it, even though it's kind of a banger. I like the ba 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 ba. The shit, it's nice.
Yeah, man.
Striptease is great, and 24 Hour Dog. Call me the 24-hour dog, man. You know, just
Arf, arf, you know what I'm saying?
that one took a little bit to grow on me, but genuinely, it's honestly pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm like the closer. I'm not the biggest fan of Wanderlust, but it's good. I think it's a great cohesive project, and not gonna lie to you, driving this album, I'm kind of surprised that this did not make it in like my Spotify Wrapped, because I listened to this album in full a lot.
Is it a similar vein to like Von Dutch driving, or
No, because like it's more peaceful than like the entirety of Brat, I would say. Von Dutch is like, that's like 90 on 95, whereas this is more just like 50 on Route 50, I guess. No, but it's just a really neat way, sort of like kind of almost sci-fi promo style of like reality morphing and shit around these songs. The music videos are fucking weird.
Yeah.
The branding was really weird. I was initially deterred from this album because of the cover. I did not like it whatsoever, as we mentioned in our bad album art episode a couple months ago. So yeah, no, I was really impressed by overall the showmanship on this album. FKA Twigs is a great vocalist, and I really like the beats that she made. So overall, just a project I was really fond of, and I knew I had to include it in my top 10 somewhere.
Good stuff, man. Once again, another album from early that still held the test of time. This is an album that I also listened to and did enjoy, but not quite to the extent as the rest. But this was that one that was up there for a while, just because like
there was nothing else
for like 5 months. There was shit. But yeah, that's very cool. Number 4, returning artist from last year's list, also making the top 5. Once again, we have From the Pyre by The Last Dinner Party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is a later addition to my list because this album came out maybe a couple months ago.
It's the all-girl like
all-girl
heavy,
indie rock, art pop group.
I did listen to this album.
Oh, you did?
I forgot about it. It was great. I just never really saved it.
Yeah.
But I remember the singles that they released were pretty good.
Good stuff, man. Oh, I'm glad you checked it out.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think I might like this project a little more than Prelude to Ecstasy, but I was blown away by this once again. Basically, they expand on their last release tenfold, continuing to hone their skills at just crafting exquisitely arranged art pop compositions. Some of these tracks just feel like full-on like storytelling moments or just like compositions, specifically on Rifle, where there's just like so many sections that just like build so much tension and just like emotion. I love the songwriting style and the way that the singer just delivers these lyrics just like so elegantly. The music is like this mixture of like art pop, like classical and like prog, and rock all in like one just cohesive jambalaya of goodness, as they say, in the art pop scene, Matt. A lot of these song concepts are just kind of like female rage incarnate, and I'm very excited to see where this group goes in the future, as I've said multiple times for all these artists. But some highlights for me are Agnes Day, Second Best, The Killer Is Speaking, Rifle, and The Scythe. Very much enjoyed this project quite a lot.
Sorry, I exited out of my list for a moment.
It's okay, take your time.
You know, I'm gonna have to give it another re-listen. This is another one where I remember like listening, but also for some reason I never wrote it down in my list. Agnes Day was pretty good. I remember being like, "Ooh, I should listen to it," and then I did, but I guess I was too busy.
Yeah, well, that's okay. This will be your number one album for 2026 then.
Yeah, you know,
that's how it works.
It'll be a late bloomer, you know. I promise, guys. I do have an album from this year as my number one. I know you guys are scared. I missed the mark the last time. It's haunted me in my dreams. So at number 4, we have "In Love Again" by X Void.
Okay.
It is an undercurrent indie lo-fi rock album, mostly like heartbreak record. Really just like tight band, terrific drum work, catchy songs, pretty good energy despite it being mostly like a hazy emo vibe. What's cool about it is like they have 2 vocalists and they sing in unison until the last track where they sing in harmony.
Gotcha.
Which is a favorite of mine. Really reminiscent of like 90s rock aesthetic with lo-fi production that kind of works, I would say. The instrumentation all across the board is pretty fucking good. I love the fact that like adding like the whole unison singing really makes you pay attention to the lyrics. Whereas like it's cool to pay attention to harmonies and shit like that, like, and when artists want to do that, but at the same time I do like the fact that like it almost feels like they're singing as a unit.
Gotcha.
Which is pretty sick, not gonna lie. What else? "In Love Again" is a nice conflicting little track about not trying to fall for somebody. The guitar picking pattern on "July" absolutely fucking bangs. "Sarah" is a bouncy song that talks about a person who doesn't give a shit about you, but you want to date them anyway. "Down the Drain" is a fucking banger of a track, and it's about just general heartbreak and relationships not ending well. And "Outline" is just this gutting song about isolation and the feeling of being left behind. My favorite lyric from that song is, how am I so tired just by standing still? And you just fucking feel it, because they just talk about being an outline of what they used to be. It's gutting and it's really raw. The production, like I'd say almost the lack of production kind of adds to the overall aesthetic, and it's really reminiscent of just what I love about a lot of 90s music in general.
Gotcha.
So I knew it had to be my number 4 for a reason.
I mean, that definitely makes sense. I did check this one out. This was also on my big old list. Didn't quite reach that high point, but I did like it. I thought it was very fun. I didn't quite catch all like the intricacies that you were describing, because this was more like a passive listen. But that's cool that it made it this far.
Doesn't really help that since they're a small artist, they also lyrics were not like on streaming services. You have to kind of go out of your way to look at them.
That's right.
But not a lot of hype around that album. But it was one that I re-listened to a lot.
Good stuff.
So
I'm glad I made it this high on the list. But now we're entering our top 3.
Yes.
Our big kahunas of the year. So my bronze medal goes to another returning artist from last year. This one in the top 10. Now in the top 3, we have Hyper Youth by Joey Valence and Bray.
Dude, this album fucks.
I love this album so much. I think No Hands was excellent. I think this album is even better.
The emotional depth on this album is phenomenal.
Is this on your list at all?
No.
Okay.
I've listened. You know what's so funny about this too? I have listened to this in full. Did not put on my list at all. Listen, I gave up, guys. I did listen to a lot of albums, but I fucking gave up on this fucking 2025 journey of music, okay? I glued to these songs. I fucking just gave up on keeping track.
Well, Matt, if you want to hop in if you want to piggyback off of my thoughts, by all means, go ahead, because it sounds like you enjoy this album a lot as well. But like you said, the emotional depth of this album is brilliant, while also still maintaining just like the charm, the wit, and the humor of just like their lyricism and their back and forth dynamic, just like perfectly. Just like the themes of like growing up, like social anxiety, isolation, facing the future, like that hit really hard for me personally.
Bro, the one line where one of them's just like, I just want to stay at home and play Xbox was just so fucking real.
Exactly.
Also, the fucking Peggy feature on What's Up, What's Up?
That fucking
shit
caught me
is
off guard.
so good.
That shit went so hard. Again, having just like balls to the walls features just like randomly. Like we had Danny Brown last year. We got fucking Peggy this year. Like keep it going, guys. I fucking love this shit so much.
They had an interview with Fantano that was really sick too.
Nice.
I highly recommend listening to that because they're just like two guys.
Yeah.
So it's cool to just imagine they came up with such great material.
For real.
Especially on like, I forget what song they mentioned about playing the Xbox, but it has like sort of like a waltz-ish kind of feel.
Gotcha.
And it's really sad and somber. It's just like, it's time to move on.
Is that the Disco Tomorrow? Is that the closer?
It might be. It's been a hot minute since I listened to that album.
Yeah.
You wanna know why I didn't write it down?
Why's that?
I was on vacation.
There you go.
And completely forgot about it.
Hey, fair enough. You're off the clock. We do give our employees some time off here at the Family Album. But this album was excellent. I love the beats. I also love the pacing. How there's such a perfect mixture of just like hard as fuck club bangers with like really introspective, just like soft, mellow, conscious hip hop. Just like going through just like the insecurities of just like being in like your 20s at this point. Like this album just like really resonated with me. I especially love Party's Over, or not that one, Live Right. Just like the emotional, just like sadness and turmoil of just like seeing all of like your people just kind of grow up and like grow out of like you and like your scene and just being like, well, I don't want the party to stop. Like but you have to move on. It's heart-wrenching, but it's very real. My favorite tracks are Bust Down, See You Dance, What's Up, Party's Over, Live Right, Myself, and Disco Tomorrow. Highly recommend this album. If you like No Hands, I think you'll love this one. Very much a big step up in their career as like songwriters and as just like artists in general.
I feel like with No Hands, from what I remember of that album, the samples were like really groovy and they were like, you know, kind of setting like a specific vibe.
Oh yeah,
where it was
like
overly,
90s nostalgia,
where it was like overly campy, almost in like a Beast Boys, Beastie Boys. Sorry, not Beast Boys. God, poor Greg Sipes, but but like a Beastie Boys style delivery over these like really fucking awesome instrumentals. But then this one, you could really feel like the depth of like almost in a Revenge Seekers kind of way, just like the struggles of trying to maintain like this new life that they're trying to strive for while also maintaining their old lives. That it does hit hard in a lot of moments.
Yeah, I think the instrumentals reflect that too, because whereas like No Hands has like a much like warmer kind of like sonic palette, this one's like a lot colder. There's a lot more like techno like synths and stuff in there. Makes all these like colder, just more mature themes like really just hit harder. Just so the theme of isolation overall. So I love this album. It was very good.
I think I remember in the Fantano interview, one of them had Fantano had brought up this idea of like, oh, when is there a time where you kind of are like, I'm sad, but it's time to shake ass? Yeah. I think this album very much encapsulates that.
For real. To a T. I think that's a great way to put it.
Just like blurring the line of like, I'm crying, but hold on, wait a second.
Gotta bust down.
Good. Yeah. You gotta bust down. Exactly. Oh man, yeah, this is a good album. I wish I remembered that I listened to it.
But hey, I'm glad you got your thoughts out there at least.
I did listen to a lot of albums this year. It's just like after a while, I was like trying to, you know, like I'd listen to it while I'd be working, so I'd be trying to write it down as I go along, and you know,
it got to a point.
It just happens. I gave up, man.
Hey, this is as good as you gotten though.
That's true.
That's pretty good.
And I'm proud of my top 3 for sure.
Man.
And the ones prior to this, I very much gelled to them. I just like, I don't know. But anywho, we're at the 3, right?
We're number 3. What's your bronze medal of 2025, Matt?
My bronze medal is an album that we actually covered as a full-fledged episode on the podcast, and that is Heard Noises by Matt Berry.
There we go.
I quite adore this album. I think, in my opinion, this is Matt Berry's best project. I mean, if you want to hear like all my real thoughts about it, go listen to that episode where we reviewed that. Yeah, I love Heard Noises. Silver Rings is a fucking banger.
Yeah.
I've Got a Limit is a banger. Wedding Photo Stranger is a banger. Just very like nice, lush 70s inspired, self-produced, like just overall all-around musician. He's also been flourishing, I gotta say. He released a deluxe version of this.
Yeah.
I'm so upset because I bought the CD. And then he was like, I'm going to release the deluxe version. And I was like, oh, great. I already bought the CD. He's been making like remixes of all these songs too.
I'm glad he's been like enjoying the project so much that he's just like making all these different versions and stuff.
I think he's just excited about the prospect of being able to focus on music now that What We Do in the Shadows is over.
For real.
I mean, he slayed in that, but you can kind of see here on the album too. It's just like, I'm just trying to do my thing, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to be like tied down.
You want to hear something fun too? Because I'm going to let the audience listen to our proper review of the album that we did months ago.
Valid.
He actually did a demo. It's really funny. It's very comedic of the Orchid synthesizer that Tame Impala made.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's really
Gotcha.
It's pretty good. I
That's
highly
kinda
recommend
cool.
watching that video. It's really, really awesome.
Nice.
But it's cool to see the progression he had since Witch Hazel.
Yeah.
Because Witch Hazel was my favorite of his for a little while, of like the 3 that I listened to by him, the 3 records.
Yeah.
This one I think like just blows that out of the water completely, in my personal opinion.
That's valid. Yeah.
And I think the moments of sincerity can really just be felt on this album amidst the psychedelic haze. So, and I love the cover. The
Yeah.
cover is just this nice. It's Matt
It's
Berry.
him in
He's-
the sun.
He's all golden.
Because he's not a vampire anymore.
That's true. I didn't pick up on that. I wonder if that's the reason why.
That'd be kind of cool if that was like the whole theme, because he can be out in the sun now.
He would do something fucking cryptic like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, guys, listen to Matt Berry's music and watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
But listen to Matt Berry's music.
Check out our episode where we talked about that album to get Matt's full in-depth thoughts.
You're not gonna want to miss it.
Nope. Number 2, another returning artist from last year, also in the top 5, but now moving up to a couple spots. We have Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler, the Creator.
Very good album.
Yeah, this album was so much fucking fun. Whereas Chromacopia was like the introspective deep dive, this is like the complete 180 of that, but in like the best way possible.
He just wanted to make it. I feel like Chromacopia very much like captured his emotional side perfectly.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, I just want to make an album that people could dance to.
Literally, that's what this album is. It's a fucking blast to get through front to back. It's like 30 minutes. Each track is really just fucking good front to back. Just like the confidence and like swagger he exudes, it makes every track just feel like a party. I love the samples. I love the mixture of like R&B influences with like more kind of hard, heavy trap, aggressive styles as well. This album came out on my birthday, so this was a nice little birthday present after getting back from tour with Obsolescence.
So I'm sensing a little bit of bias here.
A little bit of bias. It was on repeat all day.
No, it is a pretty good album. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, very, very good. My highlights are Big Poe, Sugar on My Tongue, Ring Ring Ring, which is probably my favorite track on the album, Tweakin', Don't You Worry Baby, and I'll Take Care of You. Literally, this is just an album to throw on like whenever you just want to, again, bust down. No need to cry on this one. You just bust down and
You
dance.
can shake ass and just not have to worry about crying.
You can neutrally shake ass.
This merch is just writing itself.
Exactly. But yeah, Don't Tap the Glass, very, very good album. Not my favorite Tyler project, but one of my favorite albums of the year. Quite enjoyed it.
Word. This album, at my number 2,
Yeah.
is one that I just like. I'm gonna do my best to explain why I love this album, because I, for some reason, have just been drawn to it since its release earlier this year, amidst the dry spell.
Yeah.
For some reason, I have found myself numerous nights just like tearing through this album front to back, and that is Sharon Von Etten and the Attachment Theory.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this album a lot. I think it's cool how she's trying to not only like continue songwriting, but also do a bit of a rebrand in terms of the types of songs she writes. I feel like with her songwriting, it was a lot more of like the singer-songwriter type, whereas this one, it was more into like a synthy foray, slightly funky kind of like songwriting about like follies and relationships and shit. I love the opener. It just has a lot of like just a cacophony of synthesizer and weird like chord progression that I was not expecting. She kind of does like a little bit of a Stevie Nicks thing, which I was a fan of.
Very nice.
Afterlife is a really good song. Let's see. Indio is like a really fun song. Just talk about some guy.
Yeah.
Which is fun. We love some guys.
We love songs about guys.
Idiot Box is just kind of like a nice like derpy track that I enjoy with a synthesizer solo that gets stuck in my head. Let's see. Trouble is a really good track. It really takes it down a notch after a lot of like the more higher synthesizer parts.
Yeah.
I don't know why this album hits so hard for me, but honestly, in my opinion, it's no skips.
Good stuff. I did check this one out. I did listen to it in full, but in a similar vein to like X-Void, it kind of just like washed over me. I didn't really quite have the same attachment to it, an attachment theory, if you will.
Yeah.
But I'm glad again, like this just stuck with you like throughout most of the year, because this is also a decently early release. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and the thing about it that's so interesting is like Sharon Von Etten has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Like she's from the Adam Schlesinger era.
Okay.
Of like Fountains of Wayne, like
oh shit,
like
yeah,
around
yeah.
there.
Gotcha.
When I found out she was like in her 40s, I was like, what the fuck? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought she was new.
Dude, good for her.
No, for
Fuck
real.
yeah.
Like, because I think she's accumulated a pretty loyal fan base. Not like super like out there, but
Yeah,
you
but
can
like a dedicated community.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And the fact that she's been able to do that for like a few decades is kind of rad. So, yeah, no, I was really fond of this album, and it was cool to kind of, in a similar vein to Spelling, take this album and backtrack, and also just see how vastly different her older material is.
That's cool. She went a different direction, completely just like knocked it out of the park.
It's also cool in this regard because like this is the rebranding of not only her as an artist, but her coming back as a full-on band.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's right.
Because that's why they're like the whole band is
Yeah,
called
The
Sharon Von
Attachment
Etten and the
Theory.
Attachment Theory.
Yeah.
Which is a dope ass name. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
It is pretty cool.
But something ain't right.
Hey fucking man. But you know what is right? Our number one pick for 2025. Matt, am I mistaken in saying we probably have the same album at number one?
Oh.
Is it some sexy songs for you?
I love it so much.
It's
man.
really good as the best album.
It has dollar signs in its name. No, it's Turnstile.
Yeah,
It's Never Enough by Turnstile. In spades.
Yeah, this album saved 2025 music for me.
Yeah.
Like from the jump. I remember me and friend of the podcast, Ben, as well as my girlfriend Megan, and his wife also was there. She's
Sorry.
not been on the podcast.
Sorry, I'm just doing that math in my head real quick.
Yeah, got conversions. I understand. But we all saw the film that they made for this album, like the day before the album came out in theaters, and like seeing that as like my first impression locked this in at number one, and it never moved. Like, and then also, of course, when the two of us as well as our friends saw them in concert back in September, it locked it in even more.
Yeah.
Like, this is the album of the year. It was the album of the summer. We had Brat Summer last year. It was Turnstile Summer this year.
Absolutely.
This album is just fantastic. Matt, what do you love about it?
Oh my god, fucking everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the title track lyrically fucking impacted me so much so that I did a cover of it on my Instagram.
That's right.
Scotch_glass, if anybody gives a shit.
Go
you
check
know?
it out. Matt makes music on there.
I'd try, yeah. I'm trying my best. And no, this album, I think like Glow On was cool because I think it did a good job there of like really introducing the sort of heartfelt lyricism and vocal stylings on top of like hard instrumental.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I feel like absolutely maxes out that idea. And not only in like a really tasteful way, but also in a way that will just leave you on the edge of your seat with like, what are they gonna do next?
Yeah. Like, as Glow On was like pretty consistent with like their sonic palette, this album, like, there was a lot of variety.
Yeah.
But it all worked. It all fit under just like the umbrella that is Turnstile. You had like synth pop that was like reminiscent of The Cure on I Care. You had like the mariachi trumpets on Dreaming. You had like the traditional Turnstile like hardcore stuff with like Soul, Look at Me Now. And you had the big fucking shoegaze explosion, which is Slow Dive.
Oh my god.
As well as the disco track, fucking Seeing Stars.
Based off of The Police.
Was that off The Police?
There's a song that sounds like I'm pretty sure it's The Police, and it sounds like identical.
That's fucking cool.
To one of their like more kind of disco-y tracks.
Yeah, that's
that,
rad.
That shit fucks. I was a huge fan of Soul. That was like my favorite one for a little while.
Yeah.
I think, honest to God, though, Look Out For Me.
That's a good one.
That has to be my favorite. That part at the end where they just go absolute club classics. One of my favorite moments of the concert when we went to go see Turnstile was me, AJ, and then two guests of the podcast, Saturday Korngor and Colin Fletcher. We all joined arms and did a bit of
like a kick line.
A kick line, yeah.
To Look at Me Now.
I remember people were looking around at us like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Dude, it's Turnstile Fall. Fuck off, dude.
It was incredible. The
That was such a fun
synthesizer work
concert.
on this album all across the board is
Dude,
fantastic.
Like from those opening keys on Never Enough, it sets the tone perfectly, and you're just in for a ride.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like when you finally get to Magic Man at the very end, there have been a couple of times where tears started kind of welling up a little bit.
Like when you mentioned, I got chills. Like it's just a perfect closer for like that whole experience. It's just like very mellow. It's like very ambient, pretty much just like vocally carried. It's just a all around just great way to end the album in a more intimate way after like all just like these facets of like what makes this band so great.
Yeah.
Highlights for me are Soul, I Care, which is my favorite track on the album.
I Care is really good.
Love that one. Light Design, I feel, is underrated. I love that track a lot. Look Out For Me, Seeing Stars. Dull, I think, is also another underrated track, and Slow Dive. Bangers upon bangers. There's no bad song on this album whatsoever.
Definitely not. And I love like the transition songs like Ceilings.
Yeah, Ceilings into Seeing Stars goes hard as fuck.
My God, Turnstile stood the test of time, I feel like, amidst this just sort of weirdly lopsided
Definitely
album year.
Yeah.
It's just a great record. You really cannot go wrong. I feel like almost even more so than Glow On, there's just something for everybody on this
100%.
album.
Yeah.
It knows how to really get the blood pumping, but then take it down perfectly on like a track by track basis. And God, you gotta highlight the fucking drums, man.
Oh yeah, the drums are excellent. Daniel Fang is a phenomenal drummer. I love all of his his syncopation stuff. Like on the outro to I Care is great. Of course, the intro to Birds is phenomenal.
Birds is really good.
Which is fantastic. I love just like the hard hitting, just 4 on the floor on Slow Dive. Soul is also fantastic.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, Soul is great. Everyone just kind of brings their A game. Their guitars are just fucking shredding. The bass work is great, and of course, Brendan Yates, is that his name?
I believe so. Yeah.
Brendan Yates on vocals is still as good as he was on Glow On, even better at this point with a lot more emotional depth on some of these for some of these deliveries on tracks. And I just like this direction the Turnstile's going.
For sure.
They're making it a little more mainstream and accessible while still staying true to their hardcore roots. At least making it more palatable for other people to get into.
Definitely. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that they are baby's first hardcore band.
Oh yeah, for real.
Because, oh my gosh. And then if you backtrack their discography, it's different, but it definitely
you
still
see,
holds up.
You see how they evolve like from the jump when they're just like pure hardcore. Like that first album to like fucking Seeing Stars.
Talk about evolution.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
And you know what's so cool? Like they are an example of, I feel like, artists that can just appreciate music and apply that appreciation of others' music to their music.
For real.
Which I think in terms of making art is like the biggest thing you could do and the best thing you can do of not just expanding like your own palette, but also just
paying
sort of
homage.
Yeah, exactly.
While also making it your own.
I mean, like, part of the reason why I'm kind of circling back to Magic Man, it reminds me of one of my favorite like indie rock songs. It's just kind of similar way. It's not hardcore really at all, but it's like an indie album by Beach House.
Yeah.
It's called Depression Cherry, and it ends on like sort of like a synthy kind of sour note, like in the same vein as Magic Man.
Gotcha.
That song's called Days of Candy, and it's like this cacophony of synths, a bit more like synthy and more electronic, but Magic Man very much reminded me of that, and everything I like about Magic Man
also applies.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's cool to see that they pulled inspiration just from like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
If you have not checked out this project, which I think would be hard, if you're just not just a casual music listener, go listen to this album. It's phenomenal. It's a lot of fun. And it'll make it feel like summer in this cold months.
No, for real. And also, like, this is another album I think that is pretty applicable to just anybody's life.
Yeah.
Just this feeling of like wanting to branch out more and like go into life more, but somehow no matter how many people you gather that really love and appreciate you, it's never enough.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't like hit so hard for you, give it some time. You know?
Exactly.
Like, no truer words have ever been spoken, or sung, rather.
Yeah.
But this album is phenomenal. I knew it was going to stay at my number one for a while.
Yeah. I agree. It never moved. I was very certain on that. But before we end, I want to shout out a couple other, like, little albums and artists that I think were also pretty good. Specifically some like the underdogs. There's one specifically, this album called Mock by a group called Rehash. Very small, like indie garage rock album. It's really fucking good because these are like, I'm pretty sure like very like young artists, but it was a lot of fun front to back. Very crunchy, but really well done. I got into Dream Theater this year. Their new album, Parasomnia, was excellent. Balloonerism, that was like the first album I listened to. That stayed in the top 10 for a while, dropped a few spots. Very nice posthumous project. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard new album was really good. Haley Williams solo stuff was great.
That was a good one.
Maruja, who I did a family vacation on, dropped their first, I think their debut album, studio album.
Tira Nog? Is that what it's called?
That was their EP. They dropped, what's it called? Pain to Power.
Aren't you impressed that I knew that?
I am very impressed that you know that, man.
Because I did listen to that.
Did you like it? Okay.
It was fun.
Viagra Boys, Matt Berry, Haim, Blue, Squid, Wu-Tang Clan had a great album this year.
That was shocking. I didn't listen to it, but that's pretty crazy.
That was really good. Earl Sweatshirt, this vaporwave artist is like exclusively on YouTube called Slower Pace, had a great album. Blonde Shell, while not as good as her debut studio album, I think had a very solid follow-up. Steven Wilson was actually really cool too. Yeah, so there's some other artists out there that I think did a really good job this year, and I got 100 albums, so it's hard to name all the ones that I liked in such a span of time. But that was our top 10, 2025. A lot of cool stuff. Also, I think very little overlap for our list, which is very neat.
Yeah. It was very much like finding and uncovering gems kind of album year for me, I would say.
That's fair.
I gotta say, one thing I don't know how I didn't mention because I'm a huge fan of them, the Big Thief album this year.
Yeah.
I definitely liked it, but I would say it's probably one of my least favorites in terms of
their overall discography.
Yeah. I think still as of right now, their first album is in the lead for me.
Is it Masterpiece?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just because I just like it.
Go check out that episode if you want Matt's detailed thoughts.
And some rap songs.
That's also true. But yeah, I think that'll do it
for this episode
of
Family Meeting.
Thank you for listening to our top 10 of 2025. Next week, we will come back with a regular episode, and we will see you soon in the new year. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, family heads. And once again, leave us your top 10 down below. Top 10 best, top 10 worst, whatever the fuck you want. And I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
Oh yeah, and I'm Matt Glass.
Happy holidays and fappy holidays.
Fappy holidays. Peace.